Yo, you listening to the Oprah Rose Show with TT and Gigi, and yeah, get it poppin'.
Thoughts. Everything begins with thoughts.
She's a slut, she's a hoe, she's this, she's that.
We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much.
It's about people being uncomfortable with women owning their sexuality.
What is the truest, highest vision?
Well, hello. And I'm gonna get
we are back again.
It's given hot potato seed. Interchangeable. You never know which two.
You never know which two.
If you're gonna get all
pop up
three. It's very different right now. But welcome back to the Oprah Rose Show. I'm Gigi.
What's up? I'm Dee Dee, and it's the two of us.
It's the two of us. Hey, TT.
What's up, TT? You know, we gotta shout our girl out. It's so funny because I feel like y'all just did a little round of LA episodes, and then me and TT did some Baltimore episodes, and then now Dee Dee and Gigi.
Dee Dee's in LA.
We're doing the LA round of the episodes.
The girls love LA.
You know,
even though they don't want to admit it.
It's a really cool space. Like, I feel like people always say Atlanta is not a real place.
It's not.
LA is not a real place.
What?
It's
LA
not.
is very much a real place.
I don't think so. I think people come here and they want to be who they want to be.
That's a bad thing?
That's not a bad thing. That makes it not a real place. Y'all make believe.
You gotta fake it till you make it, honey.
Listen, with anything.
Atlanta's just not a real place because it'll be 3 a.m. and it'll be strippers on Edgewood and shooters too.
And they might have a horse out there that you might get on for about $5 and knock the horse down the block.
That was the last time?
There was a horse outside, yeah. When my sister was in town. And she got mad with me because she couldn't get on the horse.
I do love a good horseback ride.
As always, like, rate, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The Oprah Rose Show at gmail.com. Oprah Rose Show on Twitter, the Oprah Rose Show on Instagram.
Yes.
And Gigi's actually been taking over the Instagram lately, been doing a phenomenal
I've been working.
job.
Y'all been working to go. Listen, I've been carrying the Oprah Rose Show on my back, honey.
She's been editing, uploading, and doing socials. And it's so funny because, once again, hot potato.
Yeah.
It was literally like I had been doing it, and I was like, well, she did these recent episodes, she got it. So she was like,
but no, Dee's so good. You're so good at it, though.
It was like,
I think because you, like, I'm on TikTok, but I'm not.
I'm on TikTok. Well, I'm on TikTok in blocks of periods.
Okay.
Like, I'm not, like, actively scrolling TikTok.
Okay.
But I'll have a moment of, like, being in the bed and being like,
what the hell
what's going on the clock?
The TikTok.
On the clock app. Let me see what's happening. And so I'll spend like 30 minutes in, because you get wrapped up in it. It's so easy to just keep the videos going because I don't know what the algorithm is.
No one can guess it.
But sometimes they have it a bit wrong.
Yeah.
Because I watched a couple of cat videos and now they think I have a cat and I like cats.
Okay.
And I don't.
Yeah.
But I keep watching. So it's no way for the algorithm to be like, he's not in.
Because they're cute?
I don't know what it is. I don't want a cat. I don't really like cats, right? But it's, I don't know. They keep showing me random ass cat videos.
Oh, interesting.
Jesse
wants a cat.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that. For her, not you.
Okay. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
For her, not you.
You know, I don't have a thing against cats. I love animals, but with cats, you never know what you're getting.
You don't.
And I'll be damned if it's a little feline in my goddamn house and she acting all shady and biting me when I'm walking across. Like, it's no.
Well, apparently the cats act different based off of their coat color. I didn't know this was, hey, remember I'm on cat TikTok.
Okay, you are.
So apparently I didn't know this was
so you can kind of increase your odds.
Right, based off of what they are, like, and how their temperament will be. I fool with you some if they come across my timeline. I'd be trying to skip them now because it's not really my thing.
You know, I'm trying to get her out of the idea of wanting one.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah. I was like, how about a dog? And she's like, oh, I already have a dog. I'm like,
who's the dog?
Girl. So I haven't watched her for a while because they've been stationary, but my best friend Nunu, she has a dog, and I will watch Macaulay all the time.
What kind of dog is Macaulay?
Macaulay is a husky.
Oh, Macaulay's a big dog.
Macaulay is huge. Macaulay almost lost Macaulay like 3 times because, like, dead ass. She's escaped, like, ran out of the house. I had to chase her down the street 2 times.
It's getting screaming.
Yeah.
Macaulay!
Literally running down the street with no socks or shoes on.
Oh my
that dog
God.
fast, and she thinks it's a game.
Yeah, like because she's big, so it's
huge.
like there's some momentum in that run.
Yes, so that was, that's the story of Macaulay. But obviously, she's home with her parents. She's good. She's safe. But Jessie thinks that is her dog, so she's like, "Yeah, I already have a dog. I want a cat."
Okay, she's like, I've been around the dog. Let's switch this up a little bit.
And then she had, Louis when she was born, but she doesn't really remember him.
Got it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I asked her. She said she doesn't. Yeah.
You showed her a picture?
I
of
did.
her and Louis, and she was like, ooh.
Yeah. I was
Louis.
like, she has a fairly good enough memory, but I think now she's just really memorized or remember that she was 18, 13 months. I don't know. She wasn't 2 yet.
It's a baby.
Yeah.
It's giving baby.
Yeah. So.
It's so funny because I feel like yesterday Oliver ran in the woods and I wore his ass out when he walked into that threshold. You don't never run back there because in our house the fence is gated.
Yeah.
And so
he's getting how he got to the woods.
Because he's getting a little bit older now, and so you can't just open the back door and he go do number 2.
Oh,
he want to walk.
Oh, okay.
He want to walk his poop out.
Got
and I'm
it.
like, bro, like we don't live in the city no more.
Yeah.
Like you can literally do this in the backyard while we gotta do all of this.
Yeah.
So yesterday it was like at night and it was doing a little drizzle situation and I let him off the leash and I took the trash cans back. I turned around. I said,
he was gone.
Where is Oliver? And I'm like yelling, like Oliver. And next thing I know, he coming from where the neighbors live, all the way in the back where the trees is. I said,
oh.
Because had I had to go back there, because that probably would have been, like, that's my first thought. Like, if I can't find him, he's probably back there.
Yeah.
And if I had to go back there with my little phone flashlight, looking for you and somebody else, y'all, while it's raining at night, stay out there.
Yeah, you gonna learn.
Stay out there. But a cat wouldn't do that.
No, a cat wouldn't do that. They would never come back. They'd be liking to be fucking
Now they like
cats.
to be strays and then come back and was like, you was out there being frisky.
Yeah, basically. You was out here fucking, if you're not spayed.
Or neutered.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Who's spayed and who's neutered?
The cats are spayed. The cats are spayed and the dogs are neutered. Yeah.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do to protect the environment.
That part.
Look, I was having a whole conversation recently about recycling. Do you recycle?
I do, but this is the thing. I have to not yell, but I have to remind my partner that it's important to recycle.
I gave up on reminding. I'd just be moving the recycling to the correct bin.
Like, I do that too, but I'd be like, hey, because I watch him pull out pour a Simply lemonade jug, pour the last of it, and I watch him throw it in the garbage. And I'm like, and I always say, yo, what kind of world you trying to leave your kid? What kind of world you trying to leave our daughter?
That one is an easy one, right?
Yeah.
That's such an easy.
They don't. He's still gonna throw the fucking plastic in the garbage. He don't care.
Because I was having this conversation just the other day about. So I have 2 recycled trash cans versus 1 like regular trash.
Okay.
Because the idea is you should always have more recyclable materials, right? Because if you're properly disposing of recyclable materials and rinsing and not contaminating.
Yeah. I could do better with the rinsing.
So
I could do better.
Here's the thing: when you don't rinse, let's say if you have like a bottle of spaghetti.
Like, that I do. I do rinse.
Okay. Yeah. But if you didn't rinse it, it's technically contaminated, and
so they can't even use it.
They can't even use it. They throw that whole thing away that it touched.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Sustainable DD inside and out. Everything.
Listen, I don't play about it, but it's recyclable materials is interesting too because I feel like people don't pay attention to the labels. Because not everything is actually recyclable.
Right.
Like plastic bags are not recyclable.
Right.
You personally have to recycle it by like reusing it.
Yes.
Because it doesn't you can't turn it into another form.
Right.
Like, what is a bag?
Yeah.
Like, what else can you
And
do with a bag?
I know that's why they're getting rid of plastic bags
Right.
in California.
They did it in New York.
Yeah, I saw that.
In New York, like I was still living there.
Well, I thought they started charging you for it in New York.
Well, they got rid
now
of
they
it.
got rid of them.
Yeah, they got rid of it. It was like
Okay.
you could get charged for it. Like some people would have it, but they were the recyclable bags.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to buy like the big tote bags.
Okay.
So you were almost like, damn, I got all these damn tote bags. I might as well remember to bring the tote bag when I come back.
Yeah, I'm terrible with remember to bring the tote bag.
But the big thing though is like, we don't know what they're doing with this recyclable materials.
We don't know.
Like, are they
That's
taking
above
it?
me, boo-boo. That is
Like,
above
are they
me.
taking it and reusing it into making it something else?
I'm acting on good faith. However, I do know the system in which we live and inhabit. And they probably ain't doing shit with them goddamn
It's going to the landfill. They burning the shit up. And I'm mad that I'm going through all of this.
You
changing-
fighting with your man
Right,
and shit.
about,
You
like,
rinsing the shit out.
rinsing it out, taking labels off, and I had to call.
Taking labels off. Oh, she's going above and beyond.
I had to call the other day because they didn't pick up my recycle. They just did the regular trash.
Oh yeah,
I had to get the people on the phone.
Off. Yeah.
And she called me today and was like, "You ain't called me back last night because they didn't pick it up." Like me and this girl had a whole conversation because they did not pick up my recycled trash.
This is the second week they didn't pick
This is the second week they didn't pick it up.
They did it on purpose.
This is the second week. And I sit next to the window doing work, so I'm out there. Baby, I'm in the burbs now, so I know what's going on outside.
He said, I pay my property taxes. I pay state and local city taxes.
Listen.
Y'all to come get my goddamn
Fulton
trash
County.
and recyclables.
Fulton County, come get my
Come on,
recyclable.
Fulton.
Stand with y'all.
I'm over here trying to roll some weed up.
Listen,
And I
G
am
got it going on. I
struggling.
haven't smoked flower in a minute, and I'm excited to roll this up in a little backwoods situation.
You know, my little grinder a little janky though.
But what type of flower is this? What are we getting into?
I don't remember what kind of flower.
But it's
this
a
is.
sativa.
I think it is.
Okay, Janae Aika. You got my dude, that's sativa.
That's my preference. However, I don't, although sometimes I still can go to sleep on sativa, but I have to be cautious because it really does get my brain going. And then I'll be up deep diving on YouTube,
And then
black hole.
go into a whole little black hole about
Yeah.
whatever you deep diving about.
Basically.
It's so funny when we were like thinking about like what we wanted to kind of discuss today. Like one of the notes you put in was around like the Japanese.
Yes.
And talking about like three, what is it? The three different personalities that you have.
The Japanese believe that you have three different faces. One face that you show everybody. So maybe your Instagram, that is the face that everybody sees. That's the light that everybody sees. It's your, social resume, because you're not. Well, there are some people. What app? I think it's the Clocky app that the kids is crying on. They ain't crying on Instagram, I don't think.
Not as much as you could on the Clock app.
Yeah, okay. So, your Instagram is how you present.
Okay.
And then your second face is the face that you show your close friends and your relatives. So people who are more familiar with you and know who you are, but then nobody knows you like you. So your third face is what nobody sees.
Ooh. So, what would you? Let's start from the bottom.
The bottom.
What would be your third face?
My face that nobody
That
sees.
nobody sees.
That I am secretly like a panicker. I try to get better with this, but I wonder about what the next thing is going to be that I have to experience that could potentially break me. Like, break me? Yes. Like, I know. Like, break me mentally, break me physically, because especially when you have good moments or you're in a peak, right? You're in a high.
You're almost looking for what is
going to happen to knock me off of this horse or this good moment that I'm having, is someone going to pass away? Is something going to happen to me?
Pass away?
Is someone going to, someone dear to me? Because the reality is a lot of these things are going to happen.
Right.
We just don't know when. And so sometimes I live in my head a little bit. And I will be honest and say that I think me becoming a mom made me a little bit more attuned to that, or entertain it a little bit more. I don't think that it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, but I think it
spirit
makes sense
acknowledging.
because you kind of think of yourself in a
Yeah.
sense where it's like you've lived a life already where you experience those emotions.
Yeah.
And you know she's going to experience the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of when and not if.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the way that our world is currently operating in, like, I legit be scared to go places. Like, where did I go? I went somewhere recently. I went to a party. And it was out. And then I'd be like, wow, it ain't no gun detectors. Like, y'all, like, if y'all not checking shit like this, it makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Because,
I used to be like that with concerts. Mm-hmm. Like, there were a point when I feel like I only went to hip-hop concerts where they would check for guns.
Yeah.
But I feel like that should be any show.
It should be any and every show.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a thing now.
Yeah, it's a thing now.
It's definitely a thing now, but that wasn't always a thing.
No.
And I would be like, why do we only do this for hip-hop shows when, like, we're not protecting the artist that is on the stage from anything? Nope. It could be anybody, and they don't have to be going through a situation.
Yeah.
We saw what happened with Selena. Like, it could literally be anybody.
Literally.
And so, to your point, that was a thing for me at one point, and being like, there should just be more security around going to shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess that third fate is that I live in a constant state of worry. I don't know how to shake it. I don't know. It's not like, I'm not like sweating or like, letting it show, but I do think about these things often. And worry about it. Yeah.
I think mine is more like a state of quiet.
You want your peace?
I guess it's peace, but I also think about when I was younger, I wasn't a very vocal, talkative person until I was like 20, 21, which is kind of like late.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I was very quiet until I was like 20, 21 years old when I actually like
That's so hard for me to believe.
I know, like, and now, like, knowing me, because I feel like I met you, I was like 23. So you like met me like once I was like actually like.
Okay, so you said until you were out.
Yeah, until I came out as gay.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I was like very quiet and sheltered and probably talked to maybe like 2 or 3 people. So I there's a part of me that retreats to like quietness and like just kind of like not wanting to be bothered or not wanting to say much. Yeah. But I'm the person now that you can't believe that even a thing. So like my third person of like when I am by myself, I don't listen to music. I don't watch TV. Like when Anthony's out of town or something and I'm like in the house by myself and he's like, oh, I'm about to watch the show like that we will watch together kind of thing. I'll make sure to watch it just because like he's watching it and like
you want to be
I want to be caught up in case it's another episode and we can watch it together. But I wouldn't normally watch it by myself. I would actually just be sitting in silence kind of thing because I'm almost used to who that person was because I did that for so long.
Are you scrolling? Are you like?
They could be scrolling.
Okay.
They could be reading.
Okay.
Like it's not literally like just sitting on.
I was curious.
Yeah, it's not literally just like sitting on the bed and head in space. That could be a thing. No.
Yeah.
And just like thinking. Like I remember when I was first dating 6'6" Poppy, I would go quiet a lot.
Oh, and he thought you was like,
what's going on? Is there something we need to talk about? Like, what's happening? Are you happy? Is everything okay? And it's like, it's not that. I just have this part of me who for 20 years didn't really necessarily have to say much and I was okay. And so I still retreat to that and I'm just thinking about shit. And to your point of like worry, it's not necessarily worry. I'm just like thinking and I can go deep into a rabbit hole of whatever I'm thinking about. And I even still do it sometimes now. I'll be like folding clothes and looking off in the distance. And he was like, where did you go just now? And I'm like, I couldn't even tell you. It was like a million thoughts at the same damn time. So for me, I think that third face of the people, what people don't see necessarily is that I go quiet a lot. And when I find those moments, I go deep into them because they're far few in between now, just because of the person that I am.
That's good.
And maybe that's a form of meditation.
Yeah, it is.
In a way.
Do you, because I saw, I can't not remember his name, but I follow him on the Insight Timer. He's like this guru, or I don't know what you call him, monk or some shit.
Okay.
But I guess he's fairly popular because I saw him on an Instagram post. And I was like, oh shit, he got Instagram. Let me follow him on that.
Okay. And
he was talking about how, the act of stillness and taking 3 days and not doing anything whatsoever.
That's intense.
By yourself.
Ooh, 3 days?
No books, no music, nothing. You're in silence and in stillness. And actually, I believe Will Smith talked about doing this. I think his was being committed to silence for like a week or something like that.
A week?
And I can't remember if he failed or if he succeeded, but it's a very difficult thing. And I was like, damn, I want to go to a silent camp.
You can't like do anything.
You can't do anything. And it's the aspect of like training your mind and seeing and understanding where your mind will go.
Yeah,
really just
it goes anywhere.
It goes anywhere.
Anywhere.
And he said, if you are able to do that, when you come out of there, you have a really clear sense of who you are. And I'm like, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
But I guess, does it have to be 3 days? Because I feel like, there's the aspect of like solitary confinement, which is, very different, right? Because you don't have a choice. You're just stuck in there.
Right.
Where if you choose to commit yourself to this like moment of silence, it's a commitment, and you can count the minutes or whatever. Well, I guess you don't have a clock, so you don't know.
You don't know.
But I'm like, wow, that's very interesting. I'm curious. I don't know that I could do that though. But I would go to a silent camp, like where you're around other people and you meditate and
when you're around other people.
Yeah.
Because if you think about what you just said in like solitary confinement, that is a space where you're kind of like, it's not at your will.
Right.
You don't have a sense of time.
Yeah.
Or space. There's no windows. Like there's limited activity. So, like, when people talk about going into that when they're imprisoned and they have to do that and they go, like, stir
23 and 1.
Yeah, like, it's like you would because you are surrounded by the same four walls at that point with, like, nothing else.
Yeah.
I think a little bit about, doing that for 3 to 7 days or whatever that is.
Yeah.
You have things around you that you can kind of focus on.
Yeah.
Because, we've talked about meditation a lot on this show, and, like, obviously we're all proponents of it, and we practice it in our own way. I think, like I've said before, one of the ways that I do it is in the morning when I'm doing my juice and making my parfait. It's me being quiet during that whole thing.
Doing my juice and making my parfait.
Every morning like clockwork. Monday through Friday, I do not play. I don't play. We juicing every day. But I'm very still in that, but I have something to focus on.
Yeah.
So it's not a stillness in the sense of like I'm just sitting in an empty room, like what the fuck is going on in my life. It's making this juice and figuring out like what my day is going to consist of, and like, okay, I need to do this, so let me think of that. It's almost like strategizing in a way, but yeah, I would definitely say that third phase is that one.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, this is intense. Let me actually turn on the TV. Let me turn on music and do something.
This is who you are. I mean, I say enjoy it because you won't get a lot of that, especially when you start adding kids to the mix. Like, I'll have when there's nobody in my house, I do try to have moments of peace and quiet, just because
it's far few in between. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think it's going back to my old self.
I love it. Back to your roots.
My roots. Just being in my childhood bedroom and doing nothing.
Wow. Not even listening to music?
Not even listening to music. Because I listen to it all day.
Your mama didn't come in there and be like, what's going on in here? You too quiet.
You too quiet. Not as I got older. Not as I got older.
Okay. But mothers also know their children.
Right.
Like, you sound like... I have 3 brothers. I have a brother who's immediately after me, who's also a Scorpio.
Okay.
And he is very quiet and has always been that way.
Yeah.
He's very, artistic. He's, just very intelligent, but just never have a lot to say.
Right.
Has always been like that. So my mom has never really quote unquote worried about him, I guess. She's just like, oh, I know him. That's my son. She said she was like that. I was like, oh, okay, I can't relate.
It's funny what you're about to say is that in a sense she understands him.
Yeah, she understands him.
My mom came to visit recently to Atlanta for Mother's Day, and we had a really, really good time.
It looked like it. I seen it on the Instagram.
Yes, and one of the moments was we went to Ponce City Market, just the two of us, and we were just kind of chilling on the rooftop. And I was just like, I was just on the rooftop just drinking my drink, not saying nothing. She was like, "You're quiet," and I was like, "Am I?" But I'm so used to that around her. Yeah. Of having that moment of being quiet because
you can be.
I can be.
Because she your mom.
And so for her to tell me I'm being quiet was a first almost. And I was like, oh shit. Let me actually talk about something. Because I think she's gotten so used to who I am now. Yeah. And not being necessarily so
She forgot about her quiet baby.
She forgot about her quiet baby. And I was like, well, let me talk about something.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be careful. I think I done
it's a little dry.
I didn't let it dry a little bit. Hold on.
So we're talking about the faces, and so the second face is the one that you show everybody.
Friends and family.
Friends and family.
Yeah. So people who are close to you. I think I'm a fairly open book. I don't know that I always volunteer information, so sometimes you'll have to probe.
The Scorpio.
Like you gotta ask the right questions.
Right.
But it's not that I don't want to be open and honest. It's just that
girl,
leaving.
So she's supposed to be rolling this backwood, and she's struggling a little bit, and she talking. She can't multitask, y'all. Is what I've learned.
I'm not a good. And you know what? Multitasking. As I stop to discuss
y'all
why multitasking is not a good thing, because. Fuck, it's a quote. I can't remember what it is though. But they were saying like Look, I got it.
the damn backwood, the split open shot.
I'm about to see if I can save it.
No, multitasking is a skill.
Thank you. But they say that you end up lacking efficiency.
If you can't?
If you don't. Or if you do. Like you
don't give it 100%
yes, yes.
That's for sure. Yeah. Like there's no way you could multitask and give 100% everywhere.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be lacking somewhere.
It is.
Or something.
And so that's why I tried to like be zeroed in
on what you're doing. That's some mom stuff.
I try. I'm not always successful,
yeah.
Especially at work, because I don't be giving a fuck. So I'd be like, halfway listening and sending an email.
I try to not work while I'm in meetings, but it's hard because I'm like, if we in meetings all day, when am I supposed to work?
Child, it's kind of impossible for me to work while I'm in meetings because the culture of my job is everybody texts about the meeting that we're in. Which is
like while you're in the meeting?
Yes. I hate it. I don't know if any of my coworkers listen to this show, but I absolutely hate that shit.
Y'all, if y'all listening, please, why y'all texting during the meeting?
Well, sometimes I will say 30% of the texts are accurate. Like it'd be like, hey, because things are happening really fast. Okay. It'd be like, hey, this is going on over here. I need somebody to do this, or you have an update on this. I'm in this meeting and I need to answer this specific question or whatever. That completely understand. The other 70% is this nigga don't know what he talking about. He get on my fucking nerves. Look at his wig.
Not look at his wig.
Yes.
But that's going to happen.
And I'm like, cool, but 70% of the text messages.
70% is a bit much.
We don't got to talk about everything.
Nah.
And you can't leave a group chat. I can't wait to leave this damn job so I can have a peaceful phone again, child. Them be the only motherfuckers on my phone. On my phone right now.
And it's my homegirl too. That's my homegirl
Yes, child.
Okay.
Anyway.
I feel
that's why I smoke weed.
Listen, if she could roll it up,
If I could roll it up, I'm gonna have to give me a new one.
We're gonna have to bust open a new backwood.
Yeah. You're wasting them talking and
My
shit.
second face that I show family and friends is just, I guess, motherly.
Oh, yes.
I'm like a
You are
motherly
you are such a
person,
mom.
innately.
Yeah.
I guess that's also a cancer trait. Like, I just always just
very
want to make
nurturing.
sure everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny because I think with also being new in Atlanta and making friends and going out, hanging out, like, I found myself at a dinner this past week. Everybody's always younger than each other. Where
Wow. Doesn't it? It hates it. I don't remember when that started to be the turning point. Please don't forget your point. I don't remember when I used to be the young fun bitch. And now I'm not that anymore. I'm old and I'm washed. And I'm like, well, when did this happen? Because I still
Somebody
feel very
gotta be.
youthful.
I do too.
You know,
I
but
hope it resonates. You know,
I'll say we washed.
I hope it resonates. But with that though,
you were the oldest
I'm
person.
the oldest person at the table where I'm making everybody talk. Like, hey y'all, you know, like you know what we want to talk about.
Wow.
And so I always feel like I'm like on the podcast, so I'm trying to like hold conversation and like get everybody to talk. I don't mind it.
It's a lost art, though. No, you should do that. And if we're having a dinner, like, I understand, you know, people text you and you have to respond or whatever. Like, I get that. But
I ain't your nigga. You ain't got to stop what you're doing for me, baby.
Right.
But and some sort of decorum at the table.
Put your phone aside.
Unless, you know,
Be
open up
present.
conversation. Like, and I don't want to be the one that's giving the topic after topic, so I'll lay something out and see, you know, who responds, and we just keep going where we go with it. But I find that's been my hat a lot recently, and I don't mind it at all. But in terms of friends and family, I love, you know, bringing people together, and being, like you said, that nurturer and making sure everybody have a good time. That's the second phase.
That's a good face to have.
Yeah. I just was having a conversation today with Andre, who he was going to come and hang with us. And funny enough, he was like he was going to go home. Lame.
You lame.
Tomato.
That boy been traveling, so I get it. He probably is just like, I just want to be in my space.
And choose what
I
he
get
wants
it.
to show up for. I get it.
I totally get it. So do I. I wish I could show up for everything,
But I think with the second
now.
phase of being nurturing and making sure everybody has fun, you forget about yourself or you don't celebrate yourself. So he was trying to encourage me to do that. And I'm like, I feel like I do. But he's like, I don't do a good job of it. So
I don't think you celebrate yourself enough.
So I think I need to find that, what that looks like for me. Because sometimes I think celebrating yourself, and for myself, I don't want to plan celebrating myself. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Hey, everybody, let's get together to celebrate me.
Right.
I don't like I don't like doing that. Or I also don't want somebody else to do it. I don't know. It's like, it's weird.
I get it. I think you should lean into that, though.
I do. I
it's
should.
Like, what is that?
I don't know what it is.
I'm not a therapist. But I feel like they're gonna ask you the right questions.
They're gonna
to
unlock it, right?
It's probably some of your childhood whatever.
It always is.
It always is. It'd be like,
it
man.
always is. Like, especially birthday stuff. Like, I wasn't a big celebrate birthday as a kid. Just from some parent shit. Not that they're not Jehovah's Witness. Like, it wasn't like no birthdays kind of thing. But it was my birthday's in the summer. So growing up, that's outside of school year. And then I'm the oldest boy cousin.
Oh.
And so it was like, you know, celebrating looked like adults. And so it didn't necessarily look like me.
Damn.
So birthdays were always weird because it's like, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? I don't know. You go to dinner, you know, big thing. So that's definitely something. Celebrating myself is definitely something to unlock.
Okay, we're going to work on that.
We're going to work on that. We always a work in progress.
Yes. Period. I love that.
And our first self is who we show on the gram and Instagram.
Who do I show on the gram?
I think I show, like, I don't know. Like, I went to the museum recently and showed that. Maybe I showed that I'm super artsy on social. Maybe
But you are, though.
I lean into the artsy part.
You lean into your Cancer sun, honey.
That Cancer sun
the
is
seed
sunny.
Cancers for creative.
Yeah.
You said.
I think I lean into that socially because I think it opens up conversation to those who are interested in that as well.
Oh, damn. It made me think about that when I say you're Cancer creative. I think I show my Libra rising on social media.
What that mean?
That's the more social, funny, person side of me.
Yes.
But if you go back to my first phase, or the phase of just myself, it's very dark. It's very Scorpio, very like worrisome, like that's bitch
and you don't show that.
No, I do not show
at
that.
all.
But that is very
I
much
didn't even
like
know that.
Yeah, I'm very
When
very
I think
very
of
much a dark
you,
person.
I think like fun.
Yeah, that's good.
No, that's what I want
That
you
is
to know.
so good. It truly saves me.
No, seriously, I guess that's the Libra in your chart. But like when I think of G, I think of a good ass time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not always the case. And I feel like I'm trying to find ways to get back to that because now I work from home. Like I spend a lot of time with myself, you know, like obviously I'm doing stuff because after Jesse goes to school or whatever and Punch goes to the office or works out or is working himself, it's just me with my job. But then I go back to being a mom. So I'm not really I'm not in the office, so I'm not talking to people in between meetings, getting to know new people around me, shooting the shit. I'm not catching a happy hour before I gotta go be a mom again. I'm not having any of those. That's crazy
when you think about that. And I actually don't care to have that, but I hear you because that goes back to my third self.
So for a long time I was okay with that, but now I'm becoming more and more of a recluse. It's becoming harder for me to get out, and I don't
used
like that.
To being in the house.
Yeah.
It's like I'm good here.
Yeah, I'm good here. I'm just chilling. But am I? Because I'm not. I need social interaction. I need to get off the fucking internet.
Yeah.
That'd be my aspect.
But gee, you're raising a good point. That's a lot of people's story though right now too. Just like the pandemic was a real thing. Yeah. Everybody, the pandemic happened. I know we don't wear masks and act like COVID didn't happen, but it did, and you're in the house.
Yeah.
And so we gotta get out, right? I think that's a big part of what I'm even talking about of going out in Atlanta, making new friends, and still being the oldest at the table, being okay with that.
Yeah.
But just trying to get out and meet people so that it's you don't turn them into a recluse. I got me and my nigga, we in the house, and it's cool. I'm good. We can watch our shows.
Yeah.
But there's more outside than just that. And it's so easy for people to experience
just
that.
fall in there. Yeah. So, and then because I, have responsibilities, I can't just go out every weekend, so that becomes a little difficult with trying to figure out my timing,
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I don't think you ever get it right.
No.
It's kind of figuring out what it is in that
somebody
moment.
Always suffers.
Somebody always suffers. Somebody always going to suffer. And And as long as you're doing something where you feel like it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all we can do.
This is my social moment.
Welcome to the Oprah Rose show.
Okay, what else we talking about? All right, that's our three Japanese faces.
Politics as usual.
Okay, so this is a funny one. The NAACP, and remember we spoke about them recently on our show, about the needing a rebrand. They heard us.
Good, they heard, and they was like, "Say less."
Bitch, you wanted a rebrand, bitch. You got it. Y'all stop taking y'all black asses to Florida because it is a hostile state.
It is. It is.
Against Black people, African Americans, but also just general people of color.
Yes. And the LGBTQ.
And the LGBTQs. My bad. Yes. LGBTQI.
Okay.
What she said.
The qua. Because they blocked AP African American study courses.
Yep.
What?
They did. They blocked
which is an amazing thing to have, right? When we were in high school, African American AP wasn't a thing.
No.
And so for you to ban it.
Yeah.
In a state.
Child, a teacher in Florida is under fire for showing the movie Strange World because the boy comes out as being gay. But it's not a coming out, his parents already know.
Right.
But it becomes a conversation. And so she's under fire for that. They removed the Ruby movie with the little black girl who integrated the school.
Oh, Ruby. Okay.
Yes, they pulled that out. They can no longer show that. It's just, they're going after HBCUs.
Yeah, they
and
defunded all diversity and inclusion programs in the state.
Which goes down to, you know, if you want to be in a sorority fraternity, all of these different things. So it's extreme. Yeah. So the NAACP is advising us to not go there. They didn't, at least from the clickbait that I saw, I didn't read the whole article, but they didn't mention money in what I saw. They mentioned hostility, essentially your safety, which is all very much so important.
Yeah.
My thing though is that, and I'm gonna say this, the U.S. is built on racism, and classism is the house that sits on the real estate of racism. But everything in this country, from capitalism, classism, every ism you have, comes from racism in our historical past. And so, unfortunately, I can't say that any of us can live this, like, for lack of a better word, kosher space where we don't support anything that's bad, you know, or not bad. It's very difficult. Everything to fucking products you use, clothes you wear, designer shit you may like, the car you fucking drive, your Tesla. You know, there's so many different things. I grapple with that one all the time. Right. So if you want to live your life in this like purist space, it's very difficult too in this country. So I want to lead with that, because
like you can't even wear leather.
Yes.
Like you're not supposed to wear leather apparently if you're really like a purist.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it goes deep, and that's a difficult thing to attain, right? So we all pick and choose our battles that we want to support. So I want to lead with that.
Lead with picking your battles.
Because you got to. You have to. And I want to be a realist, right? Yeah. Before I say that y'all should stop taking y'all black asses to Florida unless you live there, your family's there, or you from there.
But I want to go to Miami. I want to go to Poppy State.
That's all I keep hearing. Miami don't count. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all are a lot of George Bush, child left behind. Like, just say you still want to go. Just say you don't care about that and you still want to go. I get it, right? But it made me think back to the Montgomery bus boycott, which was a key catalyst for the civil rights moment. Obviously, there were a lot of, moments and a lot of, protests and, you know, things that were happening. But that was one essential one. And those people, you know how long the black people didn't ride the bus?
How long?
300, and I believe it was 62 days.
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
And they was walking everywhere?
They were walking.
I didn't realize it was that long.
They were fucking walking, y'all. That's how committed the black community in Montgomery, Alabama was.
And it changed everything.
And it changed
everything. It put
everything.
a face to the movement.
Yes,
and
because then
shout out to Rosa Parks.
Shout out to Rosa Parks. Shout out to Dr. King.
And Rosa wasn't the only one that did
she
what
wasn't.
She did.
No, you know, there were obviously several different catalytic moments that happened, but that was a substantial one. And when you think about it, because that was 68 years ago, roughly, that wasn't that long ago.
And we see the black and white photos. Like, my mom was alive.
Yeah.
She was a kid when this happened.
Absolutely.
And watched it on TV.
Watched it. And so, you know, I implore you, like, what are you going to stand for? Because I feel like we live in this very much individualistic society. Nobody has community outside of your personal family. That's all you care about. And I get it, right?
But
you want the help of your family.
George Floyd was a moment when
George Floyd was a moment.
Came together to protest.
Yes.
But it was birthed out of what was already happening in the pandemic.
It was.
I don't want to take away from what it was, but like, let's call it out now.
Yeah. A lot of that was people. And then a lot of the rioting that happened weren't the people who were connected to the cause of George Floyd. They was just fucking some shit up, white people, just to be fucking some shit up because they could get away with it. You know?
There's always going to be that.
It's always going to be that.
Yeah.
But I just implore, even, you know, if you still want to have your Miami, who am I to tell you not to have that?
Right.
But I do encourage you to think about things a little bit differently. Like, think about how you're supporting this state that don't fuck with you. Why would you want to spend your money there?
Because to your point, though, if we talk about the governor DeSantis, right?
Yep. Who's announcing has announced his presidency.
Had we, as black and brown people, hey, my Latin people, because y'all, there's a lot of y'all that voted for
58% exactly.
If we had came together.
It was the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans.
I ain't calling nobody out, but how we
I'm gonna call your ass out
as a people now, and really stood up to what was happening in the state, not just now, but over the course of the last 3 years when he's been a governor of the state. He would not be a runner for the presidential election for 2024. Why am I hearing about him running for president?
Yeah.
President!
I mean, the evangelical, I can't say that word, but them white people that's in church.
That's trying to evangelize.
They like him. You know, he's the puppet. I don't know that he was this fascist when he was running, and that's the thing. You never kind of know what you're going to get with these politicians.
Wild. That is always the wildest part to me.
You know,
but stand on who you are.
Stand on who you are.
Show me the third face.
Child.
Okay. And speaking of the 2024 election, we know our old man Biden put in his hat for the Democratic
Child, he need to go sit down somewhere.
He's going to be our oldest president.
He need to go sit down somewhere.
This man was out with...
You're not tired? You don't want to go relax some damn where?
He went to the army vets and was like, my son died in Iraq. Why this man lying, man? His son unfortunately passed away from cancer in Maryland.
Wait, what?
Yup. Just the other day, President Biden was speaking to some troops and saying that his son unfortunately passed away. He passed away during the Iraq War, and his hat went off to them. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And then he was like, hold on a minute, passed away from cancer in Maryland. It's unfortunate, right? But his age is catching up with him, where he's starting to make up stories. And it happens when our people get up there in the age. This man, he 80?
I don't know how old that man is. He's shriveled though.
A quick Google, I think this nigga.
Like, you don't want to retire?
Hold on now. He don't want to pass the baton to Kamala. I typed in Biden. The first thing that came up was age.
But I don't know that I'm a good person for this conversation. I don't like nobody.
He's 80.
Him 80.
And then in the 2024 election, he'll be...
What's the average age for a man in America?
I think like 75 or something like that.
See?
It was the silence. So, but like, I think the crazy part is like when we think of an election, right? Isn't there like contenders or people that come out and say, "Hey, I want to"?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen anyone from the Democratic side. I've only seen. Obviously, we now know Ron DeSantis has thrown his hat in. That girl Nikki Haley from South Carolina. Obviously, Donnie.
The senator from South Carolina. I can't think of his name right now. He's black. He threw his hat in just last week, and he's actually Republican, but he's kind of bringing more joy to the Republican Party and not being so doomy. But he kind of
like joy to the Republican Party.
I know, but he I wish I knew his name right now. But he still rests on those evangelist kind of like ideals.
Yeah, it's so odd to me.
Yeah.
Another Clarence Thomas. Next.
Tim Scott. His name is Tim Scott.
I missed the like, dare I say, and he was never a president, but he ran, against Obama. I miss the McCains of the world.
Yeah.
A classy gentleman.
Classy Republican.
Classy Republican.
I guess the last classy Republican was George Bush.
Yeah, probably. He had his shit too, but
he had his shit too.
But
it wasn't like
it was
this.
It was the vice president that was with the shits. It was Dick Cheney. Yeah,
which is why we went to war with Iraq for no fucking reason at all. Don't get us started.
Yes, the Republican Party needs a rebrand.
They're going through their rebrand.
I know, and
this
it's like I know. I mean, they need to run it back.
And I'm like, when did we arrive here? And why are we rolling back things that have been decided on? Why? I listen to this podcast every day called Start Here. Mm-hmm. It's an ABC podcast, so ABC is more left leaning.
Okay. ABC Network. Okay.
In terms of like their news, Disney more left leaning.
Okay.
So Start Here is literally like press play, hear everything that happened the day before, kind of thing.
Okay.
30 minutes, straight to the point. After my little hour of quietness. And I feel like they've done a really good job of kind of like keeping me up to date on what's going on.
Okay.
But it's like listening to hearing about abortion laws every day.
Yeah.
Why is this what I'm hearing about in abortion pills and hearing stories of young women having to cross state lines and catch flights because they've gone over the 2-month mark and they didn't know they were expecting.
I just think that they're never going to be honest about it, right? Like, we all can speculate and be like, you're immorally wrong, you hate women. In my humble opinion, the bottom line comes down to we aren't producing as many people as we were before. We aren't boomers. A lot of us are waiting longer to have kids if we have them.
Right.
We're not having multiples. A lot of only one children here. Except for those who tend to be in more of a, socioeconomic turmoil, or people who live in poverty.
Kids.
Yes. They have less access to resources.
Right.
Yes. So they're forcing it on you. So they're removing the resources to basically force us to have children, because who's going to do all the work and the labor that no one else wants to do?
Those individuals. We're seeing a lot more child labor reports coming up, especially in those southern states that are blocking working in factories.
Yes, in those southern states that are blocking abortion, they still need to produce products, right? But if you aren't doing it, we're not going to do it, right? Because we're the 1%. We're not going to fucking do it. We need to keep the people who own the companies. Because we were talking about this, I think no, it wasn't you. Somebody was in my tweets. Because I was saying, like, what is the reprimand for these companies that are fucking hiring these kids?
Ain't none.
It ain't none.
They doing Dateline specials, and that's it.
But I gotta go to jail because I had an abortion at 12 weeks.
Yeah, because
in Texas.
Because it's not Christian like.
It's just really crazy to me. So it's like, let's stop acting this whole play of.
And call it out for what it really is.
We need y'all to have kids.
Yeah,
we need y'all to reproduce.
Because I think in these settings when they're talking about abortion and abortion rights, I wish somebody would actually quote the Bible and pull me some scriptures out during a Senate conference or whatever it is.
Yeah.
To kind of explain what it is. There's no explanation.
Yeah.
There's more of you talking about fetus and heartbeats and all of this, and who am I to tell a woman what these are men. These are white men dictating what women around
and some
the
black
country.
men too. Hello, Clarence Thomas.
What they should do with their bodies. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean,
we can go on and on and about this, but I ain't living too much more. My nothing.
Right. Anyway,
the national debt ceiling, or what's more dark news?
Child. So I'm not an expert on this, but because I was like, this is very high talk that I don't necessarily understand everything, but I'm guessing every country, they got bills.
Right.
And they use, if I'm wrong, don't scream at me, but I believe it's called GDP. I believe that's
Gross domestic product.
Yes, okay. That's used to calculate essentially how much money you can potentially have.
Okay.
And
you there.
Okay, and you base it off of numerous of things. How many people you have, what type of elements or items you export,
personal consumption, business investment, government, import, export.
Yes, all of these things create your GDP. And so the U.S., we basically maxed out on our loan.
We've done it more than once.
We have.
We do it every president.
We really do.
Yeah,
and it's like, and they just make it act like it's, I hate the news sometimes, the media circuit, because every 4 years it's, oh my God, this is the crisis that we've never seen, and it's a recession, and it's going to be a depression, and all of it. And granted, shit is kind of fucked up economically in general.
Right.
But I think for me, it's, okay, the Social Security people gonna stop getting their check. The TSA people won't go to work, I guess. So that's gonna fuck with our,
because it's a federal job.
It's a federal job.
Yeah.
So there are multiple things that will be affected once or by June 1st if
there's not an agreement
met. Yes. The Republican Party, they are supportive of cuts, but obviously for anything that's good to people. So they want to cut like school funding, what else? Like COVID relief.
Yes.
Stuff, and it was one more thing that I can't recall.
Sure, I don't know what honestly, I haven't paid too much close attention to like the debt ceiling conversation, because like you said, it comes up every 4 years for every sitting president. I think the thing about it though is like this one's interesting because it's on the heels of inflation and recession, on the heels of COVID. Yeah. So to that
it's
point,
like one hell of a snowball.
It's like just a snowball of effects, right? And it's like from a Treasury perspective, and shout out to our Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen or Yellen.
Oh, I didn't even know who that is.
Her name is
Hey, Janet.
She has a difficult position right now because
anybody who got the book, who got your money,
she got the book, she got the checkbook. Okay. Did you know though that technically the U.S. can mint $1 trillion coin and pay off all of its debt?
No.
It'll raise inflation. It'll raise GDP. It'll raise every rate, right?
Yeah.
To outside country, it'll make the cost of everything go up.
Right.
But essentially, the U.S. can wipe out its debt because we can pay it, because we can print the money to do it.
Yeah.
And it's a coin that they can do to make it happen.
But printing money isn't a good thing because it decreases the value of it, because money should be attached to gold or some I guess tangible item.
Yes. And it'll make how when you go to Europe and you go shopping and you get euro, and you're like, ooh, am I spending more money or am I less money?
Kicking my ass. The pound that be kicking our ass.
The pound,
that shit
the pound will kick your ass every time. Now the euro go up and down because at one point last year we was 1-1.
Yeah, during Brexit, right?
Right, we was 1-1.
Yeah.
Right now, if you go over to Europe, you're spending more money. But all that to say is that she has a very difficult position right now in that sense. But the conversations are happening between the president and the House majority, who is Republican.
Yes.
So you have to kind of lean towards what they want in regards to those cuts. So like you said, again, it's more of like these moral things of COVID relief, education, abortion.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like those things of like cutting the expenses there, which is very unfortunate. And it's like, I'm tired of
because what you could do is have a motherfucker like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or the list goes on, just actually pay their fair share.
Because they don't pay taxes.
Their businesses don't even pay. Like, fuck personal money, right? Your business doesn't even pay the taxes that it should pay. Your business.
Wild. It's wild. And so we expect these people who are making $30,000 a year to give up their whole check in taxes to help pay for this debt ceiling.
Welcome to capitalism.
And y'all don't even want to wipe out our student loans. Yo, if those student loans come back in full force in this summer, that is going to send the world into a tailspin. Like, could you imagine if student loans came back?
You think it's gonna send the world? I paid mine. I didn't qualify for that.
You didn't have federal?
I did, but there was a stipulation on your money.
Oh, how much you made? Right.
Yeah. So I'm not
around that. But
it is, because let your girl know. Yeah, shit. I'm with a scam now, as I say it openly on my
out here on the interwebs.
Right.
But all that to say is like you can afford to pay, right? Like you're fortunate enough where you make enough where
allegedly to them,
right,
to how they read my financials. Yes,
there are people,
but they don't take into consideration that I live into the state of California. But yes,
they don't take a lot into consideration. Yeah. You got a kid, and you know, blah blah blah, and everything else is going on in your life. But there are people who can't afford that once that comes back into play, and is going to send the U.S. into a tailspin because people haven't paid. Technically, most Americans that have federal student loans have not paid them in 3 years. And so they've built their life now at this point without them. Yeah. So
and
what
inflation
do you do?
is, you know.
What do you do when they come back? And they're supposed to come back in August or September?
Is that what's happening? When is everybody ready to riot?
That is
like,
what
when
they
is
need.
everybody ready to turn this whole shit over?
What you need to write about student loans.
Student loans, fucking reparations. Although living in the great state of California, they're attempting to make progress.
That's supposed to happen, right?
It's starting in San Francisco, allegedly. Gavin Newsom wanted it to be for the full state of California, and I believe it was just too expensive. So they're starting, I don't know if it's like a test run or whatever, but in the city of San Francisco, you just have to, you know, prove that you are from that you are of the lineage of an enslaved African.
I don't even know past my grandmother. How am I supposed to prove that?
Right. I know it's gonna get dicey for people.
23andMe?
Yeah, 23andMe, Ancestry. Same. I have the same problem. I don't like, the most that I know is my maternal grandmother's side, and I know about her mom. So my great grandmother, my great grandmother. I know who she is, her name, who she was married to, and that's
more.
It stops that. Yeah. But even her, so she's Native American and is African.
Okay.
But that's where it stops for me, because that's where it stops for my grandma. She's the one who told me this. So I'll have to get on Ancestry myself. But if you say your slave owner, your family slave owner you weren't included on the census, how do you access that information? Right. But I do understand and respect them wanting to put that into place, because I don't know, I may get a little hate mail, but a lot of resources that were provided for Black Americans, or quote unquote Black people, post the civil rights, were received by immigrants. You know, so like, you know, your Nigerians, your Ghanaians, your Caribbean, you know, like people who were not,
right,
or even just people of color in general. Right. You know, just like affirmative action was something that was created to benefit and make things more equal for quote unquote Black people, but who benefited the most from affirmative action? White women, right? Historically. So still, yeah. So I understand them wanting to put this in place, because they want to make sure that who's receiving this resource actually is a descendant of enslavement. Sure. So I'm not mad at that.
I'm mad at it. Wow, you uncovered so much of affirmative action. Well,
don't hate me, y'all. I'm just spitting facts.
Well, I think we spit a lot of facts on this episode so far. Should we do a quote?
Hold on. Before we do a quote, because I want to get into this.
What you trying to get into real quick?
The good sis Megan Good was spotted with new rumored boo Jonathan Majors.
When the
She
dick,
turned her comments off her Instagram.
when the dick is good, the dick is good. Ain't that what they say?
She said she wanted to see what it
I
did.
want to see what that about.
I thought that was funny.
Why? No, I shouldn't say that. Like,
We don't know.
I don't know what
Listen,
happened.
We don't know what
right?
happened.
I don't
you
know what happened. I don't know this man.
Yeah, I don't know this man.
You know, at his height, the world turned against him.
Yeah.
And Megan Good was like, "Black brother, I see you.
I said,
Okay, I see you, and I want to see what that dick about."
is that the Megan? Not Megan Good, but Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion.
With Lizzo playing the
Lizzo
flute.
playing the flute. How did you know that exactly? But literally, with the dance and everything. And then she turned it into the body dance.
Woo! She did turn that into the body dance. Wow. Friend, kindred spirits.
Oh, but wow,
Yeah.
a union.
A union.
And then they've been photographed together, so it's
Yeah.
not just like tabloid fodder and
No.
shade room and neighborhood talk talking some shit.
Yeah.
They've been together, doing the thing,
Yeah.
going off.
She
the
said
private
he
jet.
ain't beating me.
Where's the quote?
He beating his pussy.
No. How you beat this pussy?
You know, I feel like we be hastily jumping. You know, let that man have his day in court, and if he guilty, child, then we can all let him burn. But we be throwing stones too fucking much.
Are they taking him to court?
I don't know. Apparently, it was supposed to be a thing where there was like multiple women were supposed to be building a case about.
I heard about that, and that's why the team dropped him and all of that.
Yeah, but that has fallen quiet.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
I'm done. I just wanted to add a little.
well, that's a little razzle
I
dazzle.
didn't want to add a little razzle.
You know, because politics as usual was a little daunting.
It's so daunting.
It's a lot going on.
I know, it'd be fire and brimstone, and then, you know, they'd be like, well, bitch, you wonder why you be in the house wondering what the worst is going to happen.
Because the worst is happening, right? And it's like quick. Like time just moves so fast right now, too. Like it was just April 1st, and now it's fucking June.
I know. It's crazy.
How? Well, the quote for this week is, "Rip me out the plastic, I've been acting brand new. Bitches acting like they running shit, they really ran through."
Queen. Shout out to... You was dead ass serious.
I was deadass. Like, reading it like it was a quote. Because it is. "Rip me out the plastic, bitch, I've been acting brand new."
Okay.
And on that note,
I spend that 500 before I ever trap you.
I see y'all.
Shout out to
Holla.
abortion.
A woman's choice.